Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And better late than never, but it's time to do the Jubilee videos. So I've done my Jubilee fights. Am I exactly thrilled with my scores? Not really, but I also don't really give a shit. So we're gonna go through the normal battles today with this video, starting with normal battle 1, and then 2 and 3, and then the boss battles be tomorrow. But I'm going to have a variety of different teams to show you alongside my max score team, which is not going to be realistic for a lot of people, but, just understand that there are strategies, there are units you can use, and just try your best. And apart from that, I'm going to skip the disclaimers because I just want to get these done. So let's go ahead and jump into normal battle 1, which is an AoE fight that wants us to use a water character to nuke, so Emils, or Fountain Wisdom Rimuru, who you get for free. But the salamanders do damage, and in order to get max score, you can't take any damage, unfortunately. So they do magic resistance, guaranteed crit damage, and then this one does pierce, which is really, really bad. And then we got attack and defense. So starting hand is 4 blues, 2 oranges, with a triple steal if you want to use that for slot 3. But let's go ahead and get started with normal battle 1. Alright, so here's my max score team for normal battle 1. It's going to be quite specific to do it because you need Hinata. You can maybe replace Masayuki with the Danmachi Hestia if you want. But Hinata is going to be necessary because she has the damage absorption skill for Sparkle of Youth and Fount of Wisdom. And her, Blanc, and Rimuru are on Fount of Wisdom. So turn 1, we can be invincible. Emils will be our nuker, and we will use the Super Rewind skill from... I guess it's not really a Super Rewind, but the good Rewind skill from the 4th Anniversary Masked Hero. So loading in, as long as you have the Millim, and Gazzle in your protection slots, you'll have over half protection gauge. You could use the absorption state and then just send the 4 blue orbs, and that will give you access to Masayuki, which is going to be super impactful and huge. And now we, instead of taking damage, we absorb the damage. And that's the whole reason why we don't take anything here. And now turn 2, we have 22 points, but actually we have 62 because of Blanc. We have 162 because of Masayuki. When we use him, he resets our skills and gives us 100. So let's use the rewind from the hero. And then we've got 4 Blanc orbs, which is huge because they're going to be 4 rainbow orbs for Emils because we're going to transform him. There's the 100 skill points, so now we can do a bunch of things like transform, boom. And then we're actually going to use his combo edition skill and his first stack of ult because that means we only need to send 4 orbs and we can send all 4 of the rainbow Rimuru or Emils, and that will act like we're sending 6 and we'll get his EX ult. So we'll spread the damage out a bit. And then with the rewind kicking in from this masked hero, specifically this one only, we will be able to EX ult on turn 2 still without having to go to turn 3. And now we have another Masayuki, so we actually have 225 points. Plus Blanc again, who we can reset. So let's bring Blanc in for Hinata. We don't need Hinata anymore. And we will use her debuff. No, actually, we'll use the synergy debuff from the hero. Masayuki will then reset Blanc's 40-point skill, so it costs nothing again. And then we could use the buff there. We could use the stack of Emils again, which is back down to 40 points. And if you happen to get another Masayuki, you could have used the Fount of Wisdom Rimuru buff, but here we're going to be fine. We do 1.8 million damage across the board. We only need to do 5 million damage to get the damage cap. So we can see the breakdown when it pops up. So 0 damage taken. We've done over 5 million damage. We are within the turn bonus, which I think is turn 2, turn 3 maybe. And then everyone is alive. So that is my max score team, but you're going to need Hinata for this shit. Alright, the next team I have is obviously not a max score team, but it is going to still use Emils to nuke. Or you could use the Fount of Wisdom Rimuru that you get for free. Either one works, but we've got Scourge Wielder Elmesia for the physical attack buff. We've got Bride Chuna to triple orb steal. It could be anyone. It could be Summer Hinata, the Wind Masked Hero, whoever suits your fancy. Just someone to guarantee we get 6 orbs. We've got Divine General Diablo, who you could get from that EX Selector ticket or the 4th Anniversary Summon tickets. And then Carrion is super old. This masked hero is super old, and we're going to nuke with Emils. So turn 1, we're not going to triple orb steal. We're actually going to use Carrion's orb change to get us 6 blues, which will give us access to Elmesia next turn. We're going to steal with Shuna next turn, when we can guarantee that we get 6 oranges for Emils, because that's going to give him his ult. I don't want to do it on turn 1, because that would give us like an ult in a little bit, and there's nothing we can do with that right now. So we're taking damage, not a max score run, but turn 2, as long as you get 3 orbs for somebody, it doesn't really matter, then we can do it. So let's use the green buff for Diablo, that way the rainbows that Elmesia makes will get a little bit buffed. We could bring Shuna or whoever to come in and steal orbs from Carrion, give us 6. We can then bring Emils in, and then we can rewind on this turn, because we're going to have a full hand of orange and rainbow Emils. Like, we don't need to transform with him this turn right now. The important part is getting the rewind in, because that's going to give us a little bit extra more time to do stuff. So let's spread the damage out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we have the EX ult for him. Now we can do like a stack of his ult damage, and we can also send him to the... Actually, no, we can't send him to the back, because we've already swapped everyone. So we're just going to kind of chill on this turn, and we will transform. Boom. Okay. So now it's 200% EX ult damage. We could do a stack of him, which is another 100%, and then we could use Elmesia, and we could just turn this entire hand in. But now it gets a little dicey. Like, do you kill someone here? Do you... The hero has the 150% physical buff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diablo won't get it. I did take the gear off of everyone but Emils. I should have mentioned that. No one has attack gear, even their supports, except for Emils in his support slot. So we can leave everyone alive here. But now we have 171 points, and we could do a lot of things here. So we could do the synergy buff and the crit, and we have enough points with 26 left over. We could do Carrion's 20% crit damage skill. He is not skill fused, so it's only 20%. If you want, we've got Elmesia again giving us the 150, which we technically already have still anyways. And do I even use the crit damage? No, I don't. Not that we need to, because he's doing 4.5 million a hit. So we've almost hit damage cap off of one of them. And if we had used the crit damage, maybe we would only need one of them alive. So, but there's that. We got the max score still, because it did 13 million this time. Turn bonus, so turn 3 is the max. We just took a little bit of damage, but honestly, that's still a really good score for everyone else. So don't be upset with that. Alright, the next team is going to be using the free Fount of Wisdom Rimuru. If you didn't know you can get him for free, yes, you go to the training tab and you can find him and get some dupes. But we're going to be using New Year's Blessing, because it gives physical characters guaranteed synergy, guaranteed crit. So, Fount of Wisdom Rimuru, being physical, with his physical buff, guaranteed synergy, guaranteed crit, can do decent damage. We've got the New Year's team, essentially, plus him. So, free-to-play Diablo, Rimuru, Milim, and Shinsha. My Milim and Rimuru, Fount of Wisdom, are both skill fused, so their attack skills are better than what a normal person is, so just keep that in mind. My Shinsha is not skill fused, so we could be doing even more damage here, but we're intentionally not. Okay, so starting out, Diablo can give away orbs to the person with the highest attack. Okay, cool. We can make use of that. So let's bring Rimuru in, use his convert to get a full hand of blues, and then we can send him away for another New Year's character. So we can send 6 blues, which gets us access to Xion, or 2, depending on if you have protection traits or not. But this is a team that is, one, maybe going to hit damage cap, maybe not, depending on your skill fusions and your dupe levels. But also, we're going to go to turn 4, because I want to make sure we have enough points to use everything to at least attempt to do enough damage. So here, we're going to give away all the orbs to Rimuru. Thankfully, he got 3 of them, and then we rainbowed them, so now we can bring Fount of Wisdom Rimuru in, and send all 6 and get his EX ult. We don't want to use Xion here, because I don't want to do too much damage to these salamanders. I don't want to accidentally kill them. I want to nuke all 3 of them. So we're just going to hold on to the Xion for next turn. But, now it's turn 3. Do we have enough points to nuke? I mean, yes and no. We could do a combination of the buffs, but we don't have enough to do everything. So what I'm simply going to do here is I'm going to really not do anything. I think we're just going to send some orbs here and let the extra 30 points from turn 4 kick in, and then we should have just enough to do what I need to do, which is use the Rimuru buff and use the Shinshin Milim buff. We can forget the Diablo crit resistance down skill, and we don't need to use anything else from New Year's Rimuru. So boom, boom, again, Shinsha is not skill fused, Milim is, so she's giving a lot of extra synergy power. Now we can use Xion to give ourselves guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. And then when we nuke with Rimuru, we do 2 million across the board. And, again, you might do a bit less if Milim isn't skill fused, so might have to alter your team a bit. But that does get us to damage cap, and it's a turn after, so we took a little bit of point drop on that. But overall, it's still not a bad score for a player that doesn't have super premium options. Like, this New Year's team is from New Year's of 2024, right? And then Rimuru is free. So chances are maybe you have them if you've been around for a little bit. And the final team I have for you today is going to be an Exalted Champion Velzard team, again with the free Fountain Wisdom Rimuru. He's free, so everyone should be able to use him to nuke. Like, honestly, if you try to use anyone else, then you don't have like a Mills, then what are you doing? Go get the free Rimuru. But Velzard gives the element buff and Drago to everyone. We've got the skill-fused Octogram Lumi, who's giving both AoE damage and permanent ult damage. We've got Isis for the orb chain, or the green buff, essentially. We've got Kigali for just another free-to-play character. I'm trying to make this as free-to-play friendly as possible. Rimuru, and then the OG Space Master hero. If you wanted to bring the Light Divine General hero, or the new hero, the Dark one, that can also work just fine. But this is like a low-tier option for people that I'm trying to give. So turn 1, because we have Rimuru, we can use his skill, or his orb change again, so we can get the full hand of blues. And then we don't have anyone to triple orb steal. We don't have anyone who can do like rainbow orbs. We're just gonna bank on Rimuru having orbs on turn 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Velzard is gonna change all the orbs to greens, which is why I have Isis. If you wanted to bring Divine General Diablo, get the green buff and the synergy buff, then that also totally works, if you manage to pull him or chose him from the ticket. But here, we have a lot of Rimuru orbs. Alright, cool. We're going to use the rewind from the hero. We're going to use the first stack of Lumi's skills. She is double skill fused, though. So if that's not something that you can do, I would just bring a different character to support Rimuru. Maybe someone who could alt rush a little bit, or give rainbow orbs or something. One of those two things. But permanent AoE damage, permanent ult damage, making all the green orbs, or all orbs give extra 50% ult gauge will help us out quite a bit. So the rewind, done, alright. Hopefully we get some more orbs for Rimuru on the rewind turn. We just need 1, and we get 1. Okay, perfect. So we use the green buff for Isis, that way we could cycle properly and get a lot of gauge. It will work on top of the gauge increase that Lumi is giving for ults. So once again, spreading the damage out, we're going to have 180 points to nuke with, and we're going to have the Drago and the element buff from Velzard. So we should be looking fairly good here. As long as you can RNG into getting an EX ult for Rimuru, you'll be okay. So let's do a stack, and then we have just enough points to use the crit buff with the hero. And then we can nuke after we use Velzard. This is not a max damage team, though. It's got 2 free-to-play units in it. We've got old-ass units. But this is an option for people if they have no other better support characters. So we do 714k across the board. Nowhere near 5 million. But if this is what you can field, or some kind of variation to it, you could still do 1.2 million in total score instead of the 2 point something something. So low tier option, free to play units, older characters. Try your best, use what you can. Again, everyone has access to that Rimuru. Like, seriously, let me pull it up, close this, and let me do this. Let me show you. You go to the limited tab, and then you go into the main and growth, and it should be in the training. EX Character Growth Support Quest. This is where you get Rimuru. Everyone has Rimuru, I promise you. This event is permanent. But if you used anything else to clear this fight, let me know in the comments. That's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.